Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and welcome back to another Top 5 episode. Last week we looked at the Top 5 best new classic skins in Overwatch 2, and this week we're doing the complete opposite, the video that everyone's gonna hate me for. Or maybe not. Maybe y'all will surprise me and agree with me in the comments when I talk about some of these new classic skins in Overwatch 2 not looking all that good, because that's what makes up a majority of the list, are skins that don't look all that good compared to their Overwatch 1 skin, or skins that just don't make them look any different. But as always with these top 5 videos, my list is going to be different than yours, so comment down below what your least favorite Overwatch 2 classic skin is. But without further ado, let's look at the top 5 worst classic skins in Overwatch 2. Now just wait a second, our Bastion skin doesn't make it on this list because of Bastion himself, on the contrary, but rather his bird in Overwatch 2 gets Bastion on the top 5 worst skin. Okay, so this is kind of a joke placement, I'll be honest, I had a tough time trying to find the 5th worst Overwatch 2 classic skin. But when I was looking at the list of skins to put at the number 5 spot, I saw Bastion's skin, and I actually like Bastion's Overwatch 2 skin because I think it looks adorable, and I decided, alright, whatever, we'll put Bastion at number 5 because not only is this bird not any different than how they look in Overwatch 1, but Bastion's skin, it's one of those skins that you can just heavily meme on and hate if you're trying to go that route when trying to nitpick everything in Overwatch 2, skins included. When one of the big selling points for Overwatch 2 is all the heroes got a new classic skin, and you look at Bastion and he only has a hat, that's the biggest difference, even though his whole entire body is completely remodeled, way more curvier, way more sexy of a design, people are gonna hate on it because they don't see any difference between Bastion in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 other than just the hat, and that's not the reason why I'm putting it at number 5. The main reason why I'm putting it at number 5 is because they didn't do anything with this bird, and more importantly, they didn't give Bastion's bird the hat. So if they give Bastion's bird a little miniature hat where he's wearing it backwards, then it won't be at number 5, Blizzard. Brigitte claims the number 4 spot and is probably the only skin that I argue should have been higher on this list, and the main reason why it so confidently claims this spot is because this is the perfect embodiment of a skin that doesn't look all that different, but the things that are somewhat different don't make her look any better. The only saving points for this skin is that there's more representation of who Brigitte is, specifically with her cat emblem. You see it on her shoulder and also on her shield, which I absolutely love. Those are the only two things that I really like about the skin, because the other parts about it, they just took away from originally in her Overwatch 1 design. Brigitte's Overwatch 1 classic skin was very industrial, very rugged. I mean, you literally saw rags hanging off of her with stains on it. But in Overwatch 2, well, I understand for most heroes, it works to update their clothes to make it more futuristic-y and way more athletic because they're going in battle. But thing is though, with Brigitte, her armor was already built ready for battle. It was literally battle torn. So to get rid of that vibe, I don't think was very necessary. The other reason, probably the biggest reason why I don't like the skin, is that you look at it and you can tell it's different, but just something's off and it makes it look worse. And I think I figured it out. They deleted her ponytail crown. I don't know what you call this, but it's the little thing that goes in between her head and her ponytail. They just completely got rid of it, and I don't know why. It's not an integral part about Brigitte's design. It's not like Reinhardt's helmet where they got rid of it, and some can argue that that was probably the biggest thing that made Reinhardt, but it's one of those things that wasn't all that necessary. PHARAH. Here's the biggest issue with PHARAH is that she's the typical action figure hero, just covered in armor and not much else to it. You can maybe redesign her helmet, maybe give her a different haircut, but other than that, there's not much you can do with her Overwatch 1 classic skin. But they did. I will admit that the color scheme that they have is way better than just the all blue design. Throwing in some whites is pretty sick, but that's where they lose me. First thing I'll say is I don't like her new helmet, specifically with her translucent piss yellow color. Now, it makes sense why they would make it translucent because that's just how visors work typically, but with her helmet in Overwatch 1, I feel like they added that intimidation factor with not being able to see her eyes or her expression because it was covered with her yellow visor, and I really like that. Here, being able to see it, it just, I don't know, it looks a little bit awkward. But then on top of that, one other little detail that I saw is that they got rid of her Egyptian beads in her hair, and I like that design. Now, while they're not completely getting rid of her Egyptian roots by still having her tattoo tattoo on her eye, I feel like you gotta do as much with her face because that's all you can freaking see. When 95% of Pharah's design is covered up by armor, where the other 5% is reserved with her face, I feel like you gotta add as much details to that classic skin as possible. But the other thing that I noticed is that I feel like her complexion is just way more pale. Like, she looks sick sometimes when I look at her Overwatch 2 classic skin. And admittedly, that's probably just lighting issues from the new engine in Overwatch 2, because even her Overwatch 1 classic skin makes her complexion looks a little bit off compared to how it looked in Overwatch 1. But I don't know, Pharah's Overwatch 2 classic skin design, it's not like amazing. I'll just say that. But there's just some things I feel like they didn't need to change, just like with Brigitte, that makes this skin way worse compared to how she looked in Overwatch 1. The only saving grace is that it's brand new with a few extra coat of white paint. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to present to you the sonic boom of Overwatch 2 classic skins, because the only difference here is that they gave Zenyatta a scarf. This shares a similar vibe with Bastion's Overwatch 2 classic skin, where you don't need to give our robot a hat. Like, maybe in technology advanced over time where they're able to get sunburn on their nose, but here it's kind of the same idea. It's like I understand he's growing up in the mountains of Nepal, but he's a robot. Why does he need a scar? I guess if Bastion can get sunburns, Zenyatta can get frostbites. Is that even how you prevent frostbites? Is by scarves? Listen, I wouldn't be hating on this skin and putting it at the number 2 spot if he wasn't a robot to begin with, because even with Bastion, they gave him a brand new hat, but also changed his body type. Orisa, they completely changed her face. Echo, well, we don't talk about Echo. Zenyatta, on the other hand, they did 0 with the boy. And since robots update every year, you think at least the Omnics would have done something different with their body types. Like, at the very minimum, I would have loved to see maybe little pointy dots on his forehead rather than just little circle dots. But nope, they decided to give him the Sonic the Hedgehog scar. But hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, we talked about Bastion, Brigitte, Pharah, and even Zenyatta. But who takes the number 1 spot for the worst classic skin in Overwatch 2? This is the worst Overwatch 2 classic skin, and it belongs to Winston. But you wanna know why this is the worst? Because this isn't his Overwatch 2 classic skin. This is his Overwatch 2 classic skin. I flipped around the footage just to kind of show y'all that there literally, like, is no difference between the two. Every hero with an Overwatch 2 classic redesign, there is at least something memorable to talk about. Widowmaker's braided hair, Go Cassidy's different colors, even Zenyatta's scarf, even though that was very silly. But with Winston, there's just nothing to touch on. His armor's still relatively the same, the color's exactly the same, his hairstyle and beard still the same. Like, they didn't even change his glasses. Now, I understand his glasses are so iconic, but I feel like that is one thing that, if done right, could have made all the world of a difference. And I feel so dumb nitpicking this skin and saying that's terrible, all because they didn't change his glasses. But gosh dang it, we waited so long for Overwatch 2, and for them to market that they're gonna have a new design, new look in Overwatch 2, and Winston looks like this? I'm let down. Like, give him a different hairdo, or at the very least, give him a strand of gray hair, because you know the boy Winston's stressing. He's ran out of peanut butter and bananas while trying to recall all these people back to Overwatch. Like, he is stressed. Show it. Reinhardt, Soldier 76, on even, they all have gray hair. I know Winston, he's gotta be graying sometime. Anyway, guys, that was my list of the top 5 worst classic skins in Overwatch 2. And remember, this is all just for fun. Like, I'm not actually hating on the Overwatch team for not doing a lot with the classic skins, because if I'm going to be honest, none of us will really care what the classic skins look like from a month from now. But enough to where I can make a top 5 video, and to where you guys can care about it and hate on me in the comments below. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch and Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.